we heard that Saliba was offered a contract, or what was being on the table was, a contract of around 120k a week.
Yeah.
A vast improvement from the 40k that he's on apparently currently. And maybe Saliba and his reps, they took it as a slap in the face. Like that's not enough. A player of my caliber needs to be earning more. People have said is akin to maybe a Saka, Martinelli wage, 180k to about 200 bags a week. It has been said that PSG are watching the situation. Like PSG are ready to, back up the truck at his yard, give him empty check, all of those cliches, and write your numbers and how many zeros you want. Firstly, for you, if Arsenal can't get Saliba to sign a contract by the beginning of this season, 2023-24 season, would you sell him? Would you sell him before the window closes this summer? If we can't get him to sign the contract,
I'd have to do it a lot earlier than that, because we need an amazing replacement, and that might not take time. Yeah, so I'd have to put a deadline on it for like middle of July or something at the max, and even that might be pushing it, because pre-season would start. No, that's even too late, because the season starts
season, as in the actual competitive games.
Yeah, competitive games.
Early August.
So maybe even beginning of July, or basically throughout this month, I'd say, we need to tie this up. So to that, I wouldn't want to sell him, no. But if that was the case and it was like we can't meet, then he has to get out the door early bath. You know what I mean? Because we can't be doing 31st of August and Saliba's gone for 200 million. Great, but who you bringing in that time period? And you're not going to tell me Kiwior is going to be playing or holding, or God knows. I think the club would be a lot smarter than to try and let this stretch out, especially because its value will start to tank from what we could get him.
I can't lie, I don't think I would sell him. Like, I wouldn't actively try to sell him.
Yeah.
If the offer came in, Saliba, 80 million, and he was refusing to sign a contract, let's say of a decent, like say 180k, and he didn't want to sign it. He wanted, I don't know how much more he'll want, but the offer would have to come in. I wouldn't actively try to sign him. I would let him go on a free next year.
Yeah, you would let him go on a free?
I would let him go on a free, because, and it sounds wild, but at the same time, it's I don't know if that money means anything. If someone gives us 50, 60, 80 million for Saliba, who are we signing? Like, what centre-back is out there? Who are we signing that's going to come in and hit the ground running? And it's not to say, like, obviously we can sign somebody and plug a hole, and he might not be as good as Saliba right now, but for me, I think I would take my chances of maybe having another season with Saliba, convincing him, maybe more money can appear that we can offer him, maybe he would change his tune and stay. It sounds wild, but I don't think I would sell him. I don't think I would force the move. I'll just let it play out. It's already too late. Like, really. Let's be honest.
I hear what you're saying. I just think I hear what you're saying, but the thing is that I feel like even if you had let it play out and we became, let's say we won the league and we won a cup, I think that would only make his team want more money. I think it's like, because again, like you mentioned with what other centre back can we bring in, I kind of believe there's always a player, there's always someone that can replace someone. Whether it's always straight away like for like in terms of quality is to be debated, but I just think it's like the asset is too valuable to go for a free. But at the same time, centre backs are at such a premium. What other, like, now if we just took 2 minutes to think about top quality centre backs out there, Saliba's probably going to be in the top 10 right now, and that's not even me being biased. I think you ask most people, what other top centre backs are out there? at his age.
Yeah, no, you're right. But
Yeah.
at the same time, in your hypothetical situation, you've said if we keep Saliba and still go on to win a cup and a league, then that is paid for. Really, like the winner's purse. And I know, yeah, you can still sell him and make money and all that kind of stuff, but it's paid for. Like the gamble has been paid off.
Yeah, I guess so. But I just, yeah, I hear it. It's just. The problem is that because he's been so integral, and now we've seen him that he's gotten injured, and we, in effect, we lost a lot of our build-up, we lost a lot of our control at the back. So now it's even more so to feel like we need this guy. And will somebody else? Could we say if we just took out Saliba and placed with another good centre back, could we still be at the level? And the answer will probably be potentially no, because of what we've seen from Saliba. It just makes me feel like we're back in, I don't know, 11, 12, when we were letting all our stars go for pence or for free, and recently with Aubameyang, Özil and Kolasinac's of the world and all these people that we just let go and we didn't get any value out of them other than their wages. And at this point, Saliba's on like, what, 30, 40k? It's not like say, oh yeah, well, at least we get the wage budget back. You know, that'll just maybe go to part of help, like paying the cleaning crew. You know, it's not. I think it's either he signs or we get our money, we get some money and we just invest it in another area. But I will say, I think he will sign. I think it's just a matter of he wants to be paid like who he is, and we're in a different place with the wages these days. You know, you don't think, oh, he hasn't even got to his mid-20s and he's asking for, you know, prime time payment, but he is who he is right now. He is hot property. Let's just pay the guy. Of course, I'd love to keep it in the 120 range. You know, it's an amazing increase on his current salary, but he's looking to push towards the 200. He wants to be paid like one of the best players in the club. I'm hoping we can keep it in the 150 to 180 range with maybe some good bonuses. And then we just move from there. But he looks happy. He looks connected to the club. He looks like he's, you know, really settled. He's now taken a positive look on the loan spell, especially to Marseille. So I think it's just a matter of, you know, just maybe dotting some I's and T's is my optimistic view. But, you know, Ornstein can just come up with a madness, you know, any moment now, and then everyone will be scrambling. But I think at the very least, Arsenal would have probably done everything they could. We're in a great position as a brand, as a team. Again, where else would you want to go? You know, or go to PSG and play, you know, potentially an important game in the Champions League. You know, maybe whoever they're battling with that season, be it Marseille or Lyon or Monaco, or whatever, maybe play one important away game. There's no jeopardy. But I understand he's a French boy, might want to go back, you know, play with Mbappe. You know, I wouldn't mind that. But, you know, yeah, I'm hopeful that he will sign. But I think if we were to plan about him, you know, him not being here, we'd have to start shipping him off early, get on the phone to PSG straight away and be like, yeah, 120 mil, you know, easy.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Because of how good he is, I don't think this being in his last 12 months really means a damn thing.
No.
Like, if people wanted him, they're gonna cough up the money. Like, so, and this is even more of my reason where it's like, if we got to that situation, and please, nobody take this out of context. I'm not saying we should sell Saliba. I'm not saying we should even play cat and mouse with him. Paul, you're saying that we should give him maybe tops 150. My guy, Stan Kroenke is not my dad. It's not my piece. I do not care. Pay that man. If he wants 250k, I'm being so honest.
Yeah,
I don't care. Pay him, because I don't see who's replacing him, and that's the big enough issue in itself. Like, we can get 120 million, like you're saying, from PSG. Who's replacing him? We'll be here scratching our heads. So if that man wants 180, 200k, as high as 220, 240, 250 to be the top player, top earner in the club, I'm sorry. He's pulled our trousers down and he's held us to ransom. We have to pay it. We have to pay it. As long as we don't do anything stupid, it's 250k and a 5-year deal plus one, or give him one of these prison sentences that Chelsea give them, man. 7-year contract, 250k. I'm good. I don't care. Like,
yeah.
But that's where it has to be. I'm not saying at all we should sell him. I'm expecting him to stay at Arsenal, and I'm expecting Arsenal to do everything they can to keep him there. Now they know that 120 is a disrespect, and they feel slighted. Right, Mr. Saliba, what do you and your people want? Right, cool. Let's move on from this. And again, this is just us. We need to learn to do this stuff quicker. We can't be here 12 months out, thinking, or creating content around is man gonna stay. It should be a given. It should be a given. He's not respectfully. He's not holding. He's not El Neni. These aren't conversations we should be having. Like, this is a top player. We nearly capitulated. Our whole season capitulated once he wasn't there. So he has to stay. We have to pay him what he wants, and then we know that's another asset secured for the long-term future.
No, you make some good points. I think definitely if we're gonna put him on like 250, for example, then we got to give him that 360 deal. We got to say, yo, like, okay, cool, but you're signing a 7, or you're signing a 6 or a 5+1 that we can activate at any time. I actually listened to another, or I can't remember where I even heard it, but this is the first time we've been in the Champions League in 7 or 8 seasons. And now with the contracts that we've been giving out, we're now getting back to having a Champions League like team or first 11, 13 with Champions League wages. And we can't drop out of the Champions League, again next season with these wages. So maybe put that in the contract that if, okay, cool, you're on 250. If we drop out the Champions League, you go down to 180, something like that. So at least to keep the finances in the head. I guess I only just think about the wages in the sense where it's like, seasons go fast, the fact that, Saka signed like a 4-year, I think then again, we're back here again in 2 seasons, I kind of just want to have that in the back of the mind. And at the same time, you want to be able to say, okay, we've got room to go again. But I think maybe even my own limited thinking on wages, I still keep thinking 300k is like the upper limit for, generally speaking, that maybe we could play at Arsenal. But then, you start thinking if Saka's on this, then we're going to have to start going north of 400k and, and Saliba and Jesus if he stays and, all these sort of players, so I just feel like we've got to build room to say at least, okay, we can still go up to this upper line of like 290, 300. But if he's already at 250, you're not going to say, we'll give you another 50k. He's going to be like double it, So, but at the same time, you got to pay your best players. You just have to pay them what they're worth.
That's it.
That's it. If we want to be where we want to be, we're going to have these wage budgets. Look at, I know we spoke about Haaland going and they said 51 million and, it was not 51 million. It was maybe double it or triple it, with his wages and how much they paid to his dad and agent. Like they paid, that's why they got the 150 million charges and all that stuff, So we're going to have to, if we want to, we're going to have to be in that type of contract situation. Look at Madrid and what they play, all their top players. I know we're not in the same financial standing, but we just have to be able to do things smartly. But keeping Saliba is just, it's not even a question. It's just when is he signing the contract? We cannot lose him. Cannot.
Pay the man what he wants. Pay the man what he wants. This shouldn't be a conversation for much longer. This shouldn't rumble into August. Pay him what he wants. So let's get this over and done with.